Well, what's going on, guys? It's Tahir here, back today with another YouTube video, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about brain efficiency and how I have personally improved the way my brain operates and how I'm a lot more efficient with it, and how I can help you guys to do the same for yourselves. So to begin with, so going back a few years now, my brain used to be all over the place, and I knew that it wasn't really efficient in the way that I wanted it to be. So what I mean by that is my brain didn't really operate the way I wanted it to be, and the way I wanted my brain to operate was in a healthy, natural way, where I would be doing things that again were natural for me, and the brain would kind of come up with them ideas, if that makes any sense. But I knew that my brain was always kind of telling me to do all the wrong shit, and that was due to lifestyle habits that I kind of developed over the years. And as a result, I knew that it was going to be very hard for me to kind of take everything back and completely reset my brain back to basics, if you want to call it. And well, in that process, what I learned was that we are adaptable, right? As humans, we can adapt to any situation that is thrown at us. And knowing that in mind, I knew that all I had to do was just try a little bit, and I could completely turn not only my life around, but also improve my brain. And because the brain is the key to everything. And so what I started to do was, first of all, I started to exercise a lot more, and I found that when you exercise, you just improve naturally. Your brain just improves naturally. It's because the brain kind of likes when you exercise, and your whole body likes it in general, because that's one of the things that you were born to do, as you will, so naturally. And then after that, I started to not have as much junk food. So back in the day, especially when I was at university and college, I used to have like junk food at least 2 or 3 times from outside. Now recently it's not been as bad. I still have it, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's as frequent as it was before. I'm eating a lot more healthier now, so I might have fruits and veggies a couple times a week, which is again much better than what it used to be. And that also helps your brain tremendously, because now your brain is getting all the nutrients, vitamins, minerals that it needs to operate at a really efficient level. And so as a result, you start doing things that again you're naturally meant to do, and as a result you're more happier. Now your brain can sense, right, whenever it's doing something that it shouldn't be doing, or when it's getting the body to be doing something it shouldn't be doing, or when the body is doing something that it should be doing. And when you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, you always feel like you haven't achieved anything, right? There's always a sense of emptiness, at least for me anyway, and I know for a lot of people that would be the case. And when you feel that empty feeling, your brain knows that actually what you're doing, you need to change up what you're doing. But because your brain is so used to you doing them bad habits, it kind of wants you to carry on doing them bad habits at the same time. That's why it comes down to you to be able to be disciplined, right, and completely change up what you're doing to improve whatever it is that you want to improve in life. And so as a result, when you do end up doing the things that you should be doing, you realize that you're a lot more happier. You don't have that empty feeling in life, and you just feel like you've accomplished something. And now again, it all comes down to the brain, right? And if you train your mind right by not only doing lifestyle habits, but also by believing that you can do whatever, then yeah, your brain it'll be in a much better place. It'll be a lot more healthier. It'll kind of guide you to do the right things. And I believe that the brain is basically, it's like a guide for us. It'll tell you what to do and what not to do. And when people get stuck into a habit of doing all these bad habits, like, I don't know, video games, then the brain keeps wanting more and more of that. And that's again all down to the dopamine hit. It just wants more and more dopamine to feel a lot more satisfied. And dopamine is obviously the main reason where you feel satisfied without really doing much, especially when you do a lot of the bad activities. And I don't think a lot of people are quite knowledgeable in that subject. And I think if people were to educate themselves on that subject, and they would realize actually what sort of harm they're causing themselves by, again, doing stuff like playing video games or eating junk food or watching Netflix all day. And yeah, so they can make improvements to their lives that way. Now, what I would also say is get the sun, so vitamin D from the sun, and obviously exercise is important, but also go out for stuff like walks, especially in nature, because what you'll find is your brain just naturally, from this huge mess, it kind of unwinds and you kind of rewire it back to its natural state. Again, things like porn as well. Porn is completely bad for you because it completely rewires your brain, and as a result, your brain is completely fucked. And once it becomes fucked, you have to do the right things to get it back on track. And once you do get your brain back on track, you'll start to realize, like for me, I've realized that I'm thinking long term, right? I'm thinking of a healthy, I think quite healthily, and as a result I'm thinking about success a lot, which is what I believe men should be doing but aren't because of society and the lifestyle habits again. And what you'll find is once you start getting you start thinking positively, it's just down to the brain, right? So let me rephrase that. So you thinking success positively is all down to the brain, and your brain being in conditions where it's natural for the brain to be in, if that makes any sense. But I know a lot of people, again, nowadays, just they do all the wrong shit, and then as a result their brain's completely wired wrong, and as a result they end up doing these bad habits and they never feel satisfied. But you have to change that, right? And I promise you, if you change that, you have to spend a good couple of months on it, because if you've been doing some of these bad habits like porn, then you're trying to rewire your brain in a week isn't going to work, because your brain's just going to want that dopamine hit again from it, and you have to change that. And as a result, your whole life will change, your belief system will change, which I always mention the fact that if you have a really strong belief system, then you can achieve whatever it is you want in life. But that's all down to you guys. Now, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please like the video, comment down below what you want the next video to be, and I'll see you on the next video.